Okay, it's working. It took me forever, but it's actually working. Hi, it's me, Chaos Jaws. Welcome to my second How I Draw tutorial after like a year? It's been pretty close to a year now. Today I will be showing you how I draw eyes. So, I didn't write a script for this like a big dum-dum, and so I'm going to be very repetitive as I go about this, but I do want to show you guys a few things, like several different ways that I draw eyes. So, when I draw eyes, I usually draw their eye shape depending on the personality. Maybe, generally a narrower eye can be for like an antagonist or a character who's generally like sly or that kind of a thing. So I'm gonna get right into this before I start like going off on this big long ramble. So I'm gonna start with a simple why are you doing that? I'm gonna start off with a simple yellow eye, kind of like how I do my persona's eye. So I start out with an arrow to decide which way I want the eye to face. And in this case, it's going to be facing off to the side. So I start with just the eye color. Simple as that. I always leave this area white. So I know that some people often add tints. I don't do that. So I do the eye color on its own layer. So I'm going to make another layer and do a pupil of a darker version of that. And in this case, we're going to do like a thin diamond eye, like how I do my character's eye. So that's on its own layer too, because I have an issue with putting... I've had incidents where I've put those two together, the eye and the pupil, the eye color and the pupil, and it doesn't, for some reason, it just doesn't turn out right. So I'm gonna put them on two different layers from now on. So I'm gonna make the next layer, it's going to be the light colors of the eye, and what I'm gonna do is put this layer on luminosity. It makes all the other color in that layer brighter, so I'm going to select this color, the color of the eye, and just do a simple line like that. Simple, right? Then I get my watercolor brush. You can also use a blur tool. I just like to use watercolor brush because it looks nicer. And you're going to blend that in. And then what I do then is I take a lighter color up here. It's like halfway between white and the eye color that I chose. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another stroke like that, and then color that in too, and then blend those together. It's already giving this glow effect. And then the final light color I'm going to actually have come up. It's going to be a little stroke, and then it'll come up like halfway, maybe like a third of the way up to the pupil, depending on the pupil's looking. And then I'm also going to blend that in, just not as furiously as I did the other ones. So now you've got this nice glow to the eye. So the next thing I'm going to do is do the shadows for the eye. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to do multiply this time. And mind you, I'm using Psi 1. I don't like using Psi 2 because I have heard too many people having too many problems with it. Plus, I already have another art program to use all my fonts for, so yeah. Anyways, so now I'm going to select this color again and swipe over to make like this glazed, oh, I'm using the wrong brush, pardon me. I'm going to just do a single stroke, just with my regular pencil brush, and that's the basics for the shadows in the eye. So I'm just going to blend that in. Then I'm going to take, usually I take the color of the pupil and then do it again, but this time like up higher, and then I blend it. And then I kind of blend it a lot so that it really, really fades. I spend so much time on eyes, you don't even understand. So then finally, I'm actually going to use pure black, but I'm actually going to go right up along the top there, and then blend it with a smaller watercolor or blending tool so that it actually fades up into the eye, like that. And then you have the basics. I keep saying basics. You have a general eye. I like to get it? I like to add more to this. So I'm going to select this color again, make another layer, and just make tiny little lines like this. Little lines all over the place. I'm starting to sound like Bob Ross. Guys, I'm Bob Ross now. So I just make little lines like this all over. Some can actually go into the eye. This one's a bit less orderly than I usually do, and then I take actually a bigger version of the watercolor or blending tool and gently swipe here and there. Just, you know, it doesn't have to be anywhere in particular. I just like to kind of blend the lines in so that they can, you know, it looks like the eye is kind of fading in and out. And then you can, if you want, you can make them lighter using luminosity or darker using the multiply tool. I like to just keep it normal because it, you know, it just, I don't know. It's like the fine line kind of a thing. So then what I like to do is do the eye glint. Some people I know will just go like this and then call it good. I like to go a little further than that. I like to do that and then do 2 shorter lines and then 3 smaller lines down below. Also depending on where the lighting is coming from. And then I take my brush that's roughly the width of the circle that I drew up here for the glint, and then I gently blend around it. And again, this layer is on luminosity to give it some glint. And then I gently, for the lines, I just gently blend them over. And then down here, I blend that one. And if you feel like the eye is too bright, you can always turn down. You know, you can adjust how bright or dark you want the eye. I just like having them up on full blast because I like shiny eyes. And if you want to go even further with this, you can actually make very large circles in the back on like that. Like you don't press down all the way. I don't know what that one's doing. Whatever. And then I really blend these ones in the back. Just kind of like that. And then I turn those down just so that they're like barely there. I don't like doing that too often because then it makes the light like, excuse me. Ugh. I still have a cold, so I don't feel good. That's why I keep bleh. But anyways, I sometimes like to do that, but again, it takes away some of the color of the eye. So most of the time I don't do that anymore. So that being said, that's one eye done. I'm using thicker lines for this one, mostly because I did a quick eye. I just kind of went shoop, shoop, you know. So I'm gonna give you just a teeny tiny quick tutorial on how to draw eyelashes. Bonus! So this one already has like a decent little edge right here, but I like to go a little more than that. I like to go more with a lot of things. So what I'll usually do is I'll actually come up about that far, and then I'll just go over. I didn't do that well that time. I'll go over the top outline like that, and then kind of just, you know, make quick little sweeping motions of the eye lashes, and then just kind of thicken this this part of the outline right here. My mind keeps trailing off and I can't stand it. Sometimes I like to add like little you know, decorative flashes. And then eyelid. Gotta add an eyelid. Just a teeny tiny little eyelid, and then an under skin fold. Yeah, it's like that. That is how I do that eye. So now, this one, I'm going to show you how I draw a more simplistic eye. I'm going to put all of these in a folder really quickly. Ah! Okay, good enough. I didn't... How dare you? Okay. So now... This one's actually really simple. It's like self-explanatory, but I'm gonna do it anyways. This time I'm gonna do roughly the color of Storm's eyes, like how her eyes used to be. So I'm just gonna do simple line like that. And like that, you know, just for the pupil. I actually do these on the same line. Then what I do is do luminosity like that. Hang on. Like that. And then I need to make it more gray. That's my problem. No, it's not. I am making all kinds of mistakes today. Look at me go. Okay. Shadow. And then on another one, I do luminosity. And then I make the glint. And you can choose whether or not you want to blend it in or not. That's totally up to you. But these, that's how I do simplistic eyes anyways. You know, it doesn't look quite as stunning to me as this one. But again, that's personal preference. What are you doing? There we go. And now for... I don't know what I was going to do for this one. It's just kind of here. For the narrow eye, I'm going to see about doing... I can just, you know, kind of go wild with this one. I can just do, like, eyelashes for this one. You know, just kind of go a little wild with this one, you know? You. Wild, crazy wings. Oh yeah, sometimes I do black pupils, but that's like a rare occasion. Yeah. I'm a weirdo. If you liked this tutorial, let's start that again. If you like this tutorial, you know, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe for new content, because even though I'm a full-time student at college, I am somehow still managing to make videos and things. So even if it's irregular. Anyways, I really hope you guys like this. Maybe let me know down in the comments below what you'd like to see next.